Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, guys? Matter of fact, I'm just gonna get straight into this. Not gonna make this a long video. I want to make sure that the people who's gonna be rewatching this will just get straight into the value. I'm gonna have my phone out at the moment too. So today I wanted to talk about, how exactly you can start testing products if you only have a small amount of money. For example, yesterday we did a live, and one thing that I was mentioning was if you don't have too much of a capital to work with, then things probably won't work out the way you want it to. Well, and at the end of the live, I told people if they have any questions, to basically reach out to me so I can, if you have any questions, so I could be able to answer it. So most of the questions that I'm getting from people was people with, not too much of a capital to work with, but they really want to make things work on Shopify. So I'm going to give you guys basically a blueprint that you guys can use to test your products. Now, hopefully, as you're watching this, you'll be able to take notes, but don't worry, the recording will be available. Like I said, this is not going to be a super long video. I'm going to try to do this as short as possible because I'm kind of in a rush too, but I still wanted to give this value out here. So we're going to get straight into it. So remember, there's two important things when it comes to the testing phase, is knowing how to do product research and knowing how to test a product. So, of course, what's going to get you kind of stuck a bit is testing the products, especially with doing Facebook ads, because you probably don't have too much money. But I'm going to give you a different strategy. Remember, we're no longer doing the $5 a day strategy. We're not spending just $5 a day. So, listen, this is how the blueprint is going to go. You're going to launch a web conversion campaign. You're going to launch a web conversion campaign for purchases. It doesn't matter if you haven't received any purchases yet. If you received some purchases already, then hey, that's good. But it doesn't matter if you never received any purchases yet. Your first campaign you're going to launch is a web conversion campaign. Now, you're going to have some people, some gurus that's going to say, hey, you're not supposed to launch it if you don't have a certain amount of sales yet, or if everybody has their own condition to how they want to use web conversions. Like I said, I'm going to tell you what's been working for me and what I've been using with other students too that end up not having too much of a budget to work with at, at the time. So you're going to start off with a web conversion for purchases. Sometimes you can do a PPE too with the web conversion. If you're going to do a PPE, you're going to launch it with the web conversion. But what you're going to do on the web conversion, you're going to end up spending roughly about, I'll say, between $15 to $20 a day. $15 to $20 a day. And what you're going to do is, like I said, the web conversion for purchases, right? Inside of your web conversion campaign, you're going to set up 3 ad sets. You're going to set up 3 ad sets inside of your web conversion campaign for purchase. Now, the 3 ad sets is going to be the top 3 audiences. The audience that's related to the product is going to be the top 3 audiences. So you always want to look for audiences that's over 1 million. Over 1 million. Remember that. The audiences that you want to target is an audience that's over 1 million reach. So, and another thing is, make sure that that audience is an interest, not demographic, not behavior, none of that. Just make sure it's interest. Remember that. Remember, play back the video so you could take notes. So, say for example, if we was testing a kitchen product, right? So maybe our first audience would be kitchen. The second audience would be kitchenware, and the third audience can be um kitchen knives. I don't know. Let's just say it's like that, right? So what we're gonna do is for those three audiences, you're gonna split it up into its own individual ad set. So one ad set is going to have just kitchen alone, and you're gonna target worldwide. Try to do worldwide. Do worldwide. Target worldwide and exclude India, China, Indonesia. Start off with those three. Exclude those in each of those ad sets. You're going to make sure in the placement where it says ad placement, you're going to make sure that you edit it. Click on edit. It's going to be set up on automatic placement. Go to where it says edit placement. When you go to edit placement, only have your ad show up on Facebook feed and Instagram feed. Only make sure those two were checked. I'm going to repeat it again. Only make sure that Facebook feed and Instagram feed are the only two that's checked. When you scroll down lower, you're going to see it says conversion window. I usually go with 1 day click. I would advise you to go with 1 day click. Can you go with 7 day click? Yeah, you could do 7 day click too. But like I said, I'm telling you what works for me. If I do a 7 day click, I'm usually split testing. I will have one campaign that's doing nothing but 1 day click and another campaign doing nothing but 7 day click. But just stick to just one thing right now. Okay. So to recap it, we're doing a web conversion ad. Web conversion for purchases with 3 ad sets in it. There's going to be the 3 top audiences that you're going to test. You're going to set it up for worldwide. You're going to exclude India, China, Indonesia, right? You're going to, where it says languages, you're going to leave it blank. You don't need to put English. You're going to leave it blank. When you scroll down in placement and ad placement, you're only going to do Facebook feed and Instagram feed. And when you go to the conversion area, which is going to be lower of the page, you're only going to do 1 day click. Now, because we're going to have this ad showing on Instagram, you don't need a Instagram account to have it run on Instagram. But because we're going to have it on Instagram, if you're going to be using a video, which I strongly advise to use a video, make sure that your video is under a minute long. Make sure that your video is under a minute long. Also, make sure that you also place in, your catchphrase and your shop now button. Make sure you place a shop now button in it. So one thing that you're going to pay attention to for those 3 days, you're going to put each ad set at $5 each. That's another thing. Make that out. That'll be the minimum I will recommend. $5 each on each ad set. Now, if you're planning to do a PPE, on the PPE, you're gonna stack up the ad sets into just one. You're gonna stack up the audiences into one campaign. You're gonna stack it up to one campaign, one ad set. If you're gonna do a PPE, so you don't need to do individual ad sets. So you're gonna run that doing $5 each. So like I said, you can spend anywhere between $15 to $20. You're gonna run that for about 2 to 3 days, or depending on your profit margin on that product. So say for example, if you're selling a product for $30 and you're getting it on AliExpress for $5, so that only means that after profit, your profit is gonna be $25, right? So that means you can spend, you're trying to, on your ad sets, that means you can let it spend up to $25, right? Because remember, it's going to be a process of elimination as the days are going by. So that means you could let those ad sets run for 5 additional days, so you can see which one is going to convert. So if it doesn't convert after the time period that you're giving it, then turn off those ad sets and move on to a new product. Or if you feel that you should stay on that same product, which I wouldn't recommend, especially since money is kind of like limited, then you can go ahead and try some more ad sets. But like I said, this is just a basic, strategy that you can use if your money is limited. Now listen, I see that there is questions. I'm not trying to disregard your questions that's inside of the chat box, but listen, like I said in the beginning of the video, my time is very limited, so please shoot me an email or write me on Instagram because I have to go. Okay, so guys, I hope you find some value. I want to know if you test this out. Remember, another thing that I must mention, listen, everybody ad account is different. So there's a lot of things that you have to take into perspective so you can understand like why your stuff is not working. Sometimes maybe you are targeting the right people, but like I said, Facebook is weird. So if you see that you're testing products and you're not making sales at the moment, don't give up. There's not really a wrong way of doing it. But like I said, guys, I want you to just check that out. I'm going back and forth, looking all over the place. But guys, I hope you find some value. Let me know. Please send me an email. Like I said, I cannot respond to anything right now. So send me an email and we'll talk very soon. Peace.